Hi, this is Monty from Mopar Vehicles, and here's another one of our detailed vehicle appraisals on a car that's just recently come into us. This is our 2007 facelifted E320 CDI Sport. Okay, so with the Sport edition as opposed to the Avant-Garde, you have a slightly different interior as opposed to half leather interior. You get full leather interior. You've got these really nice bigger 18-inch wheels, drilled sort of bigger calipers, drilled brakes, etc., that type of thing. So a few little subtle changes, and again a slightly sportier ride. Now this particular car has covered just over 90,000 miles. We're going to be carry on using the car over the next sort of couple of weeks or so. I tend to put at least 200-400 miles on my cars, all of them, before they go to our prep guys, just to make sure everything is okay. I've done about 140 miles in it so far, and it's been okay. Now we have done a bit of work to it already, and I'm briefly going to walk around the car and give you a more detailed view very shortly. Now these videos tend to take, well, I always say about 10 minutes long, but most of them now have been going on about sort of 12 minutes long, so I do apologise. They are done for a reason. We don't want to waste anybody's time, whether you're 2 miles up the road or 200 miles away from us. When you come and have a look at the car, it should be as I've described it. Now we are only human. She has covered over 90,000 miles. She's 12 and a half years of age. I might have missed one or two things. It's not done intentionally, but it just takes all that stigma out of what's the car going to really look like when I go and have a look at it. Now, one thing that may not be picked up really well with this light, because I tend to take my pictures and what have you a bit later on in the day, we have had the wheels refurbished in a satin gunmetal grey. Okay, they're still going to come up quite light in these videos, but they are actually quite dark. So if I try and hold it at a side angle, view the back ones, not too sure if you will pick it up, but they actually are a lot darker than they actually come up on these videos. Now the reasons behind them, again, it's all about trust, honesty, integrity. We try and tell you exactly how it is. You know, we've all seen it before or been there before. We've seen a car, picture of a car, it looks absolutely stunning. We go and have a look at the car and it's not as described, or it doesn't look as great as it does in the photographs. So, bit about the spec on this particular car. Mentioned it's a 320 CDI Sport. She's got a panoramic glass roof, so full panoramic glass roof. It does open up, I'll show you that very shortly. You've got full leather interior, heated seats, satellite navigation, split folding rear seats, which is quite a rare option. Front and rear parking sensors as well. You've got really nice blue tinted glass. It's not privacy glass, but with the Avant-Garde or the Sport model, you tend to get these kind of blue tinge to the screen, or all the windows. Okay, being it's the facelifted version, you've got the later bi-xenon headlamps, so it's got a kind of a cornering light function. The lights don't actually move, but the fog lamps come on when you turn the steering or indicate at a particular speed. I think it's up to about 18 miles an hour. Okay, it's called a cornering light function. So this particular car is in a colour called Obsidian Black. Fantastic service history on this car, great MOT history as well. Please have a free and have a look at them. Now in terms of the service history, we have got 14 services completed in the car. I think most of the books all stamped up. I think there's only spaces for about 8 or 10 stamps, and we've got lots of other invoices as well. Gearbox oil changes a few years ago, etc. But yeah, it's had 14 services in total. All right, yeah, so your full service history is like a service every year. This is probably having a little bit more as well. So without further ado, we'll start off from the driver's side front. Now you've got matching tyres on the front and the rears. Okay, no real reason for me to zoom right in on the wheels because we've just refurbished them. As I mentioned, it's a dark, it's not a dark, it's a sort of mid satin grey, but they may come up slightly better in the photographs. Right, bodywork along the driver's side here. Hopefully if I try and hold the camera, the reason why I tend to do these a bit later on in the day, it just stops lots of glare from the sun, and hopefully you can try and pick up some of the reflections to see that you've got some good reflections. There's no sort of dulling of paint or anything like that. Okay, hopefully that looks okay. You had a few stone chips along the leading edge of the wing here. I've touched them all up. And then you had a few on the bonnet. Okay, again, it's going to be quite hard to pick them up. You've got good reflections. You can probably see that tree there, the reflections in the bonnet. If I move that around a bit, you can probably see that. You had a few stone chips along the leading edge of the bonnet. They've been touched up, and a few a bit further back. The worst bit I'd probably say about it is going to be along the leading edge of the front bumper. But again, I've touched up as many as I can. There's probably about, I don't know, 2 dozen sort of like little stone chips, but I've done my very best. It is a black car. She's never going to look brand new, guys. She's 12.5 years of age, done over 90,000 miles. It's not going to be brand new, but it doesn't look that bad either. These videos are not here designed just to pick holes in our cars. They are here so you know what to expect when you come down. It's a shame you can't really tell the colour of the wheels. They do look stunning. Right, hopefully you can try and pick some of these reflections that you've got along here. All looks good. There were a few little stone chips along the leading edge of the driver's door, but I've touched them all up. That's all done, all fine. So let's open her up. You have got 2 keys of the car. You've got rain sensing wipers, automatic headlamps. You've got 4 electric windows. You've got your folding mirrors, electric mirrors. You've got your partial electric seats, the driver and passenger, it's down there. So what I mean by that is moving it backwards and forwards is manual, but the backrest or the height is all electric. Hopefully you can pick up all the seats here. Starting to lose the light pretty quickly. There's your navigation screen in there. Heated seats, climate control, air conditioning. This car is also got a telephone pre-wiring package. What I mean by that is in the center armrest, you've got a little module. Well, there's a module that clips into that adapter. You can buy them on eBay. I think they're about 100 quid. I think there's some aftermarket ones a bit cheaper, but the Mercedes ones are about £100. So you've got all your steering wheel controls, you've got your cruise control, speed limiters. You've also got your paddles on the back of the steering wheel for changing gear if you want to. If I put the lights on, you can probably see it all lit up there as well. Let's put the lights back onto auto. All the door panels are looking good condition. You've got this really nice kind of ruching that you get on the leather trim. All of the kind of puddle lights inside the car all work absolutely fine. You can probably see them. Now, one thing I didn't really show you too well is that panoramic glass roof. You have got 2 little blinds. They're electric blinds using the button on the actual overhead console for the sunroof. You can pull the blinds over, but you've got lots of lighting in there. It's like a aircraft really, with the amount of lights all underneath the seats, everywhere. As I mentioned, you've got split folding seats. It's quite a rare option. So these bases here, they flip forward, and then the back rests come down, and there's a couple of levers in the boot. Okay, so you can make it quite big in there. Hopefully that looks all good there as well. Now, back of the bumper, or back of the car, the back bumper, probably the worst bit I think about it. It looks like there's a bit of a mark along here. Again, it's going to be quite hard to pick up because I have touched it up, and there's a couple of little sort of scratch marks or craze marks where I think the bumper might have been just pushed in fractionally there, and it's just started to split the paint. Nothing major, believe me, nothing major. If I took the photograph back here, you wouldn't pick any of that up at all. And maybe I'm being a bit overcritical. I think a few customers recently have bought cars off me saying I'm a little bit overcritical of my cars. Right, so boot area, all the lights all work in here, and you've got underneath there, underneath that section is a spare wheel. It's only a space saver spare wheel. You've got all your tools will be under there as well. Now, I mentioned about the split folding rear seats. There's the handles that you pull, and then this like neat little kind of hook down here pops down, put your takeaway shopping on there, or takeaways or shopping. Warning triangle at the back. Wow, I've gone over 10 minutes already. I've only got to the back of the car. Right, we need to zoom along. What else did I notice along the back bumper here? This side, a couple of little scratches along there. You might be able to pick them up. If I get the camera in really close, you can probably try and pick them up. But again, if I took a picture from even here, you wouldn't pick any of them up. Right, let's just show you down this side of the car. And I am definitely losing the light quite quickly, but the good thing about it is you should still pick up lots of reflections of the trees and clouds, etc. Plenty of tread on the tyres, front and rear, plenty of tread on there. Hopefully that all looks good. Let me just squat down a bit more, and if I move the camera just ever so slowly, just really want you to try and pick up that there's no great big nasty digs or anything like that. Now there is one trolley dent that I have picked up on the car. It's about in the center of that door. Just if I move the camera, you can probably just pick it up. And once I finished off with the car, probably in the next week or so, it's going to go to our prep guys, and there's a couple of bits and pieces they need to do. That's one of them. They need to address that, and they need to address the passenger mirror, the repeater on here. Got a slight crack in it. I have taped it up a little bit, so there's going to be a new repeater. Hopefully that all looks good. Gonna have to zoom along now because we definitely have started losing the light, and the camera has started to go a bit darker. But believe me, the rest of it all looks great. For a 12.5-year-old car with this sort of mileage, she looks lovely. In my opinion anyway, and that's only my opinion. Now I didn't need to go through all of the wheels or anything like that, show you any sort of scuff marks, because obviously they've been refurbished. Now, front bumper, this side, there's a couple of little scuff marks just above the parking sensor, but I've touched them up as best as I possibly can. But again, taking a photograph from here, you wouldn't pick any of that up. Okay, so we've finished now. We're just over 12 minutes, so I've had to, rush through the last section for you. So, finally, just want to tell you about the warranties. With all our cars, they all get 6 months warranty. We don't give you a £30 warranty that's going to cover you for next to nothing. We tick as many boxes as we can. We do it so it doesn't cover you for like a £250 claim and that's it. No, it's the cost price of the car. So whether you buy a car from us for 3,000, 5,000, 8, 10,000, that's what you can claim up to. It's all done on 100% parts and labour. All you pay is the first £75, which is an excess fee. As long as a claim has been authorised, the warranty company will pay 100% towards that. It's not only just an engine and gearbox. We tick the boxes for air conditioning, suspension, emissions, etc. Now, all of the add-ons will only cover you up to £250, but it's better than absolutely nothing. 6 months warranty, as I mentioned. We do not give you a 3-month warranty or anything like that. It's not a cheap warranty. There's 2 different companies we use. We give you all the information, then you make your own decision who you want us to set the warranty up with. Finally, it's really to do with I think I was going to mention something about the service history. No, all the service history is done, 14 stamps. The last thing I just need to tell you about the warranty, and a couple of customers have mentioned this to me already. They do not, or have asked, they don't cover for everything like a brand new car. They know the car's going to be 12.5 years of age, so not every single thing is going to be covered under a warranty. But we try and give you the best cover out there with as many kind of additional add-ons. If you want to upgrade the warranty for 6 months, a year, 2 years, 3 years, you can do. That's an additional cost. We can get that done for you at the time of purchase as well. All right, so I just wanted to thank you very much for your time. Apologies, it's starting to get a bit darker now, but please feel free to read some of my reviews on Auto Trader. They are genuine, nothing's made up, and we try and be as honest as we possibly can. Thank you again for your time, and hope to speak to you soon. Bye-bye.